Hey everybody, Seth Smiley from the Smiley Law Firm here. Today we're going to be talking about the 3 most important things that you can do after a car wreck to help your case. So I encounter this question a lot, and I think these are vital to every claim that we have as personal injury attorneys. Most people, when they get in an auto accident, they just don't know what to do. They are shaken up by the accident. They don't know what's going on. You know, is it their fault? Is it someone else's fault? What do they need to do right afterwards? And so if you can remember these 3 simple things, then it will greatly help your chances in having a successful claim, no matter if it's just property damage or if you have some injuries involved as well. But and then if you stick around to the end, I'll also give you a bonus tip as well, and that'll be something that you can use that will help you be basically taken care of no matter what the other person's insurance is or what their situation is. If it's not your fault, you'll have a successful attempt to have a good claim. So anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing here with these 3 things, and then we are going to, the most important thing I wanted to tell you right off the bat: if you get into an accident and you are hurt, call 911, call an ambulance, get to a doctor. That is by far, the number one thing you want to do. But this is for all those other accidents, probably 95% of them that people get into where they're just shaken up. They don't know if they're hurt. A lot of injuries take a little while to settle in, sometimes up to a couple weeks or even months. And so you don't even realize, like whiplash, those soft tissue injuries can take weeks. And then some of the, every whiplash is a concussion as well, and some of those don't develop for many days after the accident. But the 3 tips that I want to give you all today, number 1, it kind of goes in line with that one we just talked about, is call the police, wait for them to arrive, and get a police report. This is the most important thing you can do. Call and get report. A lot of people skip this step. They don't want to deal with it because maybe it was a small accident, maybe there wasn't a whole lot going on, maybe you're on the interstate, maybe you're very remote, far from people, it's going to take a long time, and all you do is want to swap with insurance and information with the other person and go along about your way. We see this all the time, and it's a huge problem. What happens is everyone changes their story. They get away from the accident and they say, oh, well, maybe I wasn't running that stop sign, or maybe the light was green instead of red. And so you really can't take people for face value. You need to get that independent third party to come out and verify that it was the other person's fault, issue them a ticket, and then you have evidence to help your claim be more successful. I guarantee you people lose out on money all the time with regards to their claim, or their claim is lower value because that police report wasn't there. Because insurance companies and other people who insure them, the people that the insurance companies insure want to say, oh, well, it really wasn't my fault. I wasn't doing this. I wasn't doing that. And so if you have that police report, that it is like gold, and you want to make sure that you have that information. And then even if you just call them out there and you get the item number or whatever, your lawyer can then look it up, and then they'll have that documentation, and it will help your case so much. Whether you're dealing with property damage or injuries or anything, a police report is essential. That's the number 1 thing. And sometimes on police reports, they will actually get these next 2 items, but not every time. And sometimes they're wrong. So you want to make sure you're backing up your case with the best information that you can get as well. So the next one is you get your smartphone out, right? And that camera on there is so valuable. You get the camera out and you start taking photographs of your car. You take photographs of the other person's car. You take photographs of the intersection. You take photographs of everything. Then you take videos of everything, and you're going to look kind of goofy walking around taking videos of everything. But I guarantee you, I don't think I've ever had a case where I'm like, wow, there's too many pictures here, or there's too much video. There's always some angle missing or some little thing that's missing, and we wish that we had more. And I have seen some more serious accidents where the police will do this. They'll take pictures and attach them to the police report, but it's extremely rare. So you want to be your own best friend in all this, and you want to make sure that you are taking photos, taking photos and video, and apologize for my handwriting. Writing with markers on a board is not my strong suit, but I still love whiteboards and I love this way of presenting. So calling the police and getting a police report, taking your own photos and video, those are the two most important things. And then finally, the last thing, and the police will do this almost every single time, but it's always good to have backup, and they don't always get all the information correctly. So again, a photo is worth 1,000 words, right? And video is worth however many words, but you want to get the other person's insurance, driver's license, and take a picture of their license plate. So let's see, I'm going to say DL for driver's license, insurance, INS, and license plate. We'll do LP. So you want to take photos of that. You can write it down, that's great. But if you can take your phone and take a picture of those things as well, then if the police somehow transcribes it wrong, we've seen that before, it's busy and they're typing things in or handwriting things. And so that way you have extra backup documentation that you have this. Because if you have the other person's driver's license, then we know who they are, where they live, how to find them. If you have their insurance, then you know how to get your car fixed, and you know how to get the injuries that you suffered paid for. And if you get their license plate, if for some reason those others kind of fall through, or sometimes the driver is not the owner of the vehicle, and so if you get the license plate, many times we can find either other insurance or the proper insurance if you actually have who's insuring the actual vehicle itself. And so a lot of times we can run a license plate check and get that type of information. So last but not least, and remember above all of this, right, is if you're hurt, call 911, right, and get to the hospital, and then the police will come out and get much of this information, or if somebody else is in the car with you, they can get that information as well. A lot of times you can get this information while you're waiting for the ambulance to arrive as well. So lastly, the bonus tip is in making sure that you are properly insured. So all right, UM and INS. So making sure that you're properly insured is huge. We get claims all the time where people call us and they say, this person rear-ended me and I'm feeling bad and my car's messed up, I need help. And the first thing the other insurance asks for is proof of your own insurance. In Louisiana, we have this thing called no pay, no play. And if you don't have insurance, then you're toast, okay? And so what happens, you can't make any recovery up to the first $15,000 of damage. And for most cars and car wrecks, that covers all that all that property damage, and then for most injuries, it makes it to where it's not something that is worth going after unless it's a catastrophic or serious injury. So you want to make sure you have your own proper insurance. That's the first one. And then secondly, if the person hits you and they have a low amount of insurance or no insurance, the only way that you can recover is uninsured motorist coverage. And that's something that you actually have to sign off on whenever you get insurance. It's an easy way that agents tell people to save money. And so you don't want to be cheap on this. You want to make sure that you have uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage, because it will save the day every single time. If a client calls us and they say, hey, I was hit by this person and this, that, and the other, and one of the first things we ask is, do you have uninsured motorists? And if they say yes, and then we find out the amounts, because we can find out from their insurance company very easy, then we know, okay, you can safely treat and do these things and do this and get your car fixed and whatever, and you don't have to worry about anything. And so if it ends up being a much more serious injury, then that's icing on the cake. That's extra funds that you can use to make sure that you're getting healthy. So my name is Seth Smiley from the Smiley Law Firm, and this is a Facebook Live that I wanted to have to make sure that we get information out there that's good to have. If you nail these three things and you're in an accident, and pardon the pun, but if you call the police and get the police report, if you take photos and video of the accident scene, and then you also get the other person's driver's license, insurance, and license plate, you're going to be so far ahead of the game of most people, and your claim is going to be so much easier to process, and you're going to be able to get yourself healthier quicker, and then you're also going to be able to get your car fixed much more quickly. So if you have any questions about any of this stuff, please feel free to reach out, direct message us, leave comments below, or you can contact the law firm, 504-822-2222. We're here to help, and we always want to try to provide the best information that we can to people, just so that we are a resource for anybody's future legal needs. And if it's something that we can't help you, give us a call anyway. We'll find a great attorney who handles the practice area that you're looking for. So have a great day. I just wanted to come to you live, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.